I love that, Lois K. I did tell Twin about that. Okay, we are back to do the update for your star signs. We are covering Aries first, and then we'll go into Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and we'll see how we go. Tad behind, but I think that's Mercury retrograde for us. Ooh, that was a jumper. Ooh, okay. Let's have a look at what's coming up for you guys. Now, you guys could feel like you're on all systems go. You could find it's almost like there could be a situational shift going on where you feel it's almost like you've got everything going on. And you could feel a little bit agitated. This could be in the initial stages moving into the month of June. Emotionally, there can be, it's almost like you might get really hungry and feel, gee, where's this come from? Or you could completely go off your food altogether. But emotionally speaking, you could have some things going on where you are directly tuning into love. It could be you're a parent, you know, wanting to change your diet. And, you know, what I'm saying for you guys is it's almost like go, 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 but this instinct is calling you almost home, either home to yourself, home to a situation. I do feel for some of you, you might be looking at your health with a critical eye. Could be a bit of burnout. Hi, Giggle. Could be a bit of burnout, but there's so many things. It's almost like we're seeing the Seven of Cups here, and you've got the sacral chakra energy as your crowning energy. Could you be feeling like you've got a big burst of energy, but you're leading to a burnout? Potentially. I also see it's almost like you feel that you've got a lot of balls in the air, and the balls in the air can be to do with things that you're wanting to change. But, you know, things you're wanting to change. Some of you, it could be, it's a little bit like that notion where you're penny little, the sky's falling down, cleaning up, running around, you know, trying to get things done. It could be that your agitation is actually causing you to meditate. It's a style of meditation. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of a messed up way, but it's a style of meditation. It's almost like in the busyness. It can be an avoidance of a situation that needs addressing, but I don't think it's permanent. I don't think it's intentional either. I kind of think it's something that is happening emotionally to you in the interim moving into Mercury station direct. I do feel there could be it's almost like you feel there's a need to change, and I feel it's within yourself. It's to do with love, it's courage, it's standing up for yourself. There could be a little bit of an injustice. Hi, Stella. This injustice seems to feel like you might want to call it out. Paranoia can be there as well, but I think your instinct's going to be pretty darn correct. So I see you actually muting yourself initially, but I do feel it could be that, you know, you're feeling this need maybe to communicate with a particular individual. You're gauging whether you can trust the circumstance. And I definitely feel a tension point relating to love as well as money. Bear with me as I'm collecting the cards. Okay, what are you moving towards? Let's see what you're moving towards. Okay, if you, be it your couple or single, if your love life is feeling pretty crappy at the moment, I don't feel necessarily you're going to stay stuck in a circumstance. I do feel also there's a dire need where you feel everyone's needs are coming above yours. So it's becoming a pressure point. You might also be questioning your, what would you call it, your dreams. You know, it's your dream state of what you're wanting to do in your life. And I kind of see that you could be going back over old ground, you know, what resonates with you, what doesn't. You could be having a bit of a change coming to the group of friendships. Something's become a little bit of a burden. Like it's almost like, depending on if you're a masculine or a feminine, I do feel you're going to be operating in a similar energy. But I do feel there's this pushback. It's like if you feel that you've been manipulated or feel that you're being bossed around, there could be this rebellious streak that does come through, and it's real pushback. Misunderstandings, and I'm hearing the term misunderstandings, and I feel the misunderstandings can relate to a group. And I also feel tension points to do with wealth. It's like, you know, where are you going? What are you doing? How are you fine-tuning it? Spiritually speaking, I feel if you're being stuck in your head to do with the circumstance. Some dude was hitting on me on Instagram. You're going to make me choke. it feels you're almost looking at it like, okay, psychologically, you're tired of getting stuck in your head to do with the circumstance. You also, there could be a revelation. I do feel a little bit of gossip spreading around in the first 2 weeks of the month, but I also feel by month's end, something that is hidden from you, something that you've been up in your head about. It could be that you have this light bulb moment. It also could be reaching this perspective of acceptance to do with the circumstance and looking at it very critically. I do feel gossip's coming. I don't know what this gossip is, but it feels, if you've been quite silent and you've been enduring, BS with individuals or something that somebody's projecting at you, I feel it's almost like you're going to push back and you're going to be speaking your mind. You're going to be pretty determined. You do need to look after your wellness, okay? And I do think some of you, maybe it went to extremes in that self-care with love, the pacifiers that we used to actually handle life. You might be looking at that. That can be diet, nutrition. And, a large message that I was getting psychically for the collective this month is we can be looking at our habits and our wellness with a new critical eye. And it's also feeling like you're going to be making a decision based on it this month. What I am saying at the moment, Aries, is you want that vitality back. You want that passion and that lust for life back, and you're quite tired. Yes, there's multiple options. But it's almost like, your soul is saying to you that you're wanting something new, but at the same time, it's like your two energies, and it almost can feel like a soul walk. And ironically enough, the work therapist was talking about this week, and it's like a little bit of PTSD. It's like, you're chucking the old out of your life, and your soul could go through a bit of soul shock. But then you're moving into the movement forward, and it's almost like your soul is calling you, and it's telling you want to move forward. The emotion and the overwhelm of the burnout can actually almost make you feel like you're shutting down, okay? Regardless of that factor, what I am seeing is with these two frequencies coming through, it's almost like that's what's pushing you forward. It's that last oomph of energy. It might be the last straw, that last piece of straw on the, you get what I'm saying? It's that last bit, and it's kind of making you snap. And I think with that snap, could be an emotion that comes up, but it's that drive for pleasure, that drive for a happy, blissful life. I feel if you've been pacifying it and you've been numbing it down, like, nah, it's not a problem, it'll get better. Whatever that circumstance is, be it it's love, be it it's your current circumstance in life. I feel this is really high on your agenda. It's like, where is that bliss in my life? How do I get that vitality back? If you had been emotionally eating, it can come up in the first 2 weeks of the month, first 2 to 3 weeks. I feel it's going to dissipate, but I feel wherever that emotion is coming from, it's showing you a circumstance in your life that you've outgrown. And I feel that with that outgrowing, be it it's coming through in a form of communication, I do feel this pressure point is going to come up between the first 4 days of the month. And I do feel this could be communication coming in. I do feel this could be something that you've been thinking on your mind and you've got to talk about it. It's coming to a space where you're going to be throwing it out. You're going to be moving forward with this. Now, I feel that, like I said, you might have been really busy. You might have been feeling that you've been selling yourself short. In the heart space, this can be tension points, tension points in your life, really clearing your heart chakra, feeling as though you need to tweak every system in your life. It also could be if somebody is saying something quite heartbreaking towards you, it's cutting you and it's that last kind of straw on the back. It's like, okay, that's enough is enough. So again, I am really seeing for Aries this month, if somebody is manipulating you, somebody's pushing you, I feel you're kind of taking a little bit of a step back. But I do feel if people are really coming at you, you're really going to be pushing back at these individuals. I also feel from a heart point of view, you can potentially be looking at, okay, am I actually ready? Is there something that I need to address? Is it guilt complex where I'm feeling that I'm allowing people to manipulate me and I'll be everything to everyone? And I kind of do feel that, Aries individuals this month are going to really move beyond that. And I do feel a lot of confidence coming through, but it won't be that fake confidence where it's, that notion of healthy boundaries and it's screaming, it's shouting. It's actually, leading by example and actually just making conscious decisions, for our lives. But I do feel there could be a circumstance that you're recovering from. There's been something that you've been thinking about a lot. And I do feel, like I said, you know, I'm noticing with the gentleman on the card, it's almost like from the masculine, from a power point of view, you're psychologically trying to make a head and heart decision. You don't want to be the bad guy, the bad girl, but you also know it's not healthy for yourself. So I feel that there is a conscious choice that you're making this month. This also can be purging toxic habits, and it might be that you use pacifiers to cope with your emotions. It might be that you've got to a point where you've dealt with a very toxic situation in your life and you're coming to terms with it. And this can be really, I'm almost seeing like a harvest. It's like a field and it's being toiled so that it's ready for a fresh kind of energy coming through. And I feel this fresh energy is like, look, I'm looking at pleasure. Where is my bliss? How can I make a situation that? Or, you know, am I needing to reach acceptance with something? I kind of feel that, could you hit a snag and feel as though you are in two minds? I'm seeing two things coming through. One is, during the month, I do see a potential point where you're moving into a situation and you potentially are going to extremes. The next is you might scare yourself and go a little bit backwards, but it's going to confirm it for you and you're then moving forward. So I do see it's sort of connected to the same area, but at the same time, I do feel in your attitude this month is, oh God, I've got bad luck. You know, this always happens. What if I do this? What if I do that? I see it's mental. I see it's mental anguish, but the truth is something needs to give. So I don't see you directly staying in a circumstance that is toxic. Now, what I am seeing it is relating to is expectations relating to people is becoming a burden. I also see that there could be a choice between a partner or a contract. I mean, it's also to do with your purpose. It's like not just that. I don't know why I'm saying a holiday. It's like almost needing a holiday. This could be where a decision is made. It's like from that tension point, oh gosh, I need to be away from whatever the circumstances. I feel it's the answer. Whatever you're needing to be away from is the problem, right? And so can it be fixed? Can it be transformed? Or is it something that you need to let go of and start fresh? Something that you're trying to get off the ground is about to bear some fruit. This could be studying, education, website, a new project that you're working on. You're feeling, God, is this ever going to show some fruit of life? I do feel there is a major decision, and I feel that this is going to be towards a connection for some of you. So whatever this connection is, to you, it feels like the full cup, but somebody's got to be the bad guy in a circumstance. If this is a current relationship you're dealing with, you're looking at the devil in the detail, and you're looking at what you're going to need to do to move this situation around. I do see paperwork. I also feel there could be a fight this month, and it could be that you're having to push back and say, hey, this is what I'm needing to address. But I really feel whatever this is, you know, you kind of know it's going to get messy before it gets pretty. And I feel you're just jumping in the deep end. Oh, God, what is this? I feel whatever this fight is, you might need to step back for a second. I do feel if you're trying to make sense of a circumstance in a negotiation, I feel you're going to be very rational to do with it. I feel providing you with the right people in the right place. You know, it's like all the rights, okay? But it's also your emotions need to be in check when you're making this major decision. That dog is really irritating me. I was so going to do pet astrology. I mentioned to Giggle I was going to do animal astrology. Your pets are going to be playing up at the moment. You're just going to have to be patient with it. Okay, we've got an emotional decision here. I don't know why. It does feel these moon phases this month are really going to correlate with major changes that are happening in your life, Aries. And potentially because we do have Jupiter in Aries, we've got Mars in Aries. And we are having the first moon, which is going to be a full moon in Sagittarius. So for you particularly, your belief systems, they're really large this month. And I do feel for some of you, you are looking at an element of a spiritual marriage. It can be it can be very rigid initially, but it can then just be thinking outside the box. And I really, really feel there's something to do with these moon cycles that are kind of turning you inside out and rebirthing you. I do feel you're in a lot more power than you think this month. And I think if anyone's second guessing you, I think they really need to watch out. because I do feel you're going to be like the magician in tarot. I just see you really having this rebirth, and it can be quite magnificent, so to speak, but it's very transformative. I do feel you need to be careful with pacifiers, and I would really advise against it if you can this month. This is not one of those months where you go into thinking that those pacifiers are going to work. They're going to be a little bit more malefic. You also can find that you can be having nightmares, psychic attacks, very susceptible to people's energy. It's really funny though, whatever this white noise is with individuals, I feel you're just ignoring it. I feel you're really, really determined to make something in your life come full 360. And I do feel for some of you that you can be really intending to communicate quite directly. And I do see that coming up in the first day of the month moving forward. I do feel it can be a little bit more agitated, you know, in the first 3 to 4 days. But again, whatever the circumstances, if somebody's grating on your nerves, I just feel that you're really putting your foot down. Okay, what are you moving away from? I do feel you're trying to sift through a problem, whatever this problem is. It feels like you're looking to the past for clues. You also feel you've changed. I just feel the old version of you isn't here anymore. So, you know, some of you are anticipating BS coming through, but what I'm saying is deep down when you do reflect upon it, there's something in you that has changed. So I don't think you're going to get the same outcome. I don't know why I'm seeing a pay rise, and I almost feel the courage to actually ask for more. This can be, you know, if you're really loving your job, I think it's going to flow really well. I also feel that during Mercury retrograde, what we did have is understaffed. Okay, so it might have been the environment you were working at. There were systems that were quite flawed, a lot of pressure put on you where you were trying to use that energy. I do feel this month things are going to change. But you're going to have to keep your nerves about you. You're going to also have to have the confidence. Now, it could be for some of you that you can actually be looking at healthy ways to unwind, but I also feel there is a major decision here. I don't know, for some of you, I do feel there's a bit of a side hustle. This could be a personal project. This may be some way that you find to actually make your money work better for you, but I feel it's very creative. It comes to you out of nowhere. If you were second guessing yourself, I just feel you're looking to the past and going, but that's not me anymore. Okay, that's not me. I just keep seeing it's almost like you're, what would the word be? You're reflecting back and realizing you're not the same person. So some of these false beliefs, they're not defining you. They're not going to hold you back this month. It's not to say it can't be challenging, but I just really see you got the toolkit this month, Aries, and I do feel you're moving forward. I do feel whatever you're dealing with, you're trying to move away from drama, people, places, and things. There is a chemistry, okay? There's somebody in the past that you're linked to that you might have chemistry with. You particularly could feel this very strongly in your heart. This can be coming through almost like an addictive tendency. It's a very chemistry oriented. It's almost like you want to get your sexy back. That's about the best way to describe it. But I also feel if you had been ever second guessing yourself, what the cards are actually showing, and psychically what I'm being shown is you are really it's like the laws of attraction, but it's showing that you do have a connection to a person of the past. You could actually be thinking to yourself, is it a one-sided transaction here? What the cards are showing is no, it's not. I do feel you're wanting victory, and your steps moving forward is, like I said, you don't want to be the bad guy, but what you're choosing to do is going to be ethical and moral. That's what I'm showing. I don't know why ethical and moral is coming up. Okay, some of you are thinking due to the circumstances in the past, some of the situations you were dealing with were quite cursed. It's almost like they just were set up for failure from the start. That might have been due to individuals around you. It might have been due to the circumstance. But again, I do feel this is moving to the past. So I do feel you're moving into courage. I feel communication is coming in. Something in the mix is going to come up suddenly, and I do feel it is going to cause a change of plans. If you feel guilt towards your choices, I still feel you're moving through it. For some of you could be dealing with a third-party situation. Now, this doesn't have to be in a romantic connection. It could be interferences. You're kind of working through the challenges. Some of you, yes, there could be gossip in relation to a person that betrayed you. But again, it's in the heart of it. It's moving forward and actually having the self-esteem to ask for more. And I feel that there's this lucky streak coming through for your star sign at the moment. If you're unhappy with the contract, a loud message that is coming through is you have two paths. These two paths you are directly choosing this month. Even if you do feel at a subconscious level you're wanting to maybe move somewhere, wanting to address a career field, I don't see you walking that tightrope for long, and I do feel you're jumping in the deep end. You're very cautious. I do see a lot of caution here, but it's your demeanor that you're taking from your previous experience. You're moving into circumstances cautiously. You also could be aware of an individual that you're very cautious of. I do feel there's an individual here that's a little bit jealous. Now, if you are in a third-party situation, I do feel if you're trying to get out of a circumstance, it does feel as though you're a bit wary about this person. If you're not the one who's in a third-party situation, now this can be a career or in a love situation. Like I said, this interference, you are very wary of this individual. I do feel the individual who is involved in such is a little bit insecure. But it can be for good bloody reasons, so to speak. But there is a person here who you're wary of, and you're trying to keep your cards very close to your chest. You're not sharing privy information. Yeah, it's quite a tactical approach. It feels as though whatever this is, if this is a project and you've got a great idea, you're keeping your cards close to your chest. If this is a decision that you're about to make, you're testing people. I feel you're open. Even these people that are coming back from the past, it still can continue on in the month of June. But I do feel from a spiritual point of view, you've got your toots on you and you will push back if people mess with you. I do see that this moodiness can be coming out due to fatigue, and you do need to be very careful about burnout. But I also feel you're digging through to, you're clearing out the trash. Okay, you're clearing out the trash and you're moving forward. You've got to keep grounded. Please, Aries, keep very organized. Now, you guys being that you are Mars energy, right? You naturally have energy point blank zero. And you do have the sacral chakra here. You're going to have a lot on your plate. You're going to have to deal with a lot. Do I feel you have it in the bag? Yes, but I do feel it's very important to not burn out, because your operating system, so to speak, isn't going to be as kind, and it can be unnecessary. It will be due to being physically fatigued. You're going to be snappy, okay? So your foundation is you are having whole world change. You're having a whole life restructure at the moment. At the moment, you can be having a lot of social activities, especially in the month of June. I do feel some of you are feeling, it's almost like you're trying to find this balance, social and, the physical responsibility side of things. Anything you needed to get back on top of, I feel you're going to get back on top of it this month. But I do feel we're kind of entering the month of June, physically fatigued from the last 5 months, and then trying to have this kind of outburst of restructure happening. And I think due to that, it can be causing a lot of stress in your body, and it's funny, I started shaking there. It's like you're going to have to really manage your energy and be very, very organized on how you're getting things done. If you're siphoning your energy, you're going to get grumpy, okay? I'm also hearing be careful of diet and nutrition. Pay attention to the astrology. I think it can help you. Otherwise, come through and get the star sign on the website. There is going to be, it's almost like you've eliminated how to do something and you're not going to go back and do that anymore. I'm going to pull a clarifier because it's almost like it's got a secondary message here for us. What is this place? Do you have options, Aries? Yes, you do. But I do feel you're very focused on one person in particular in the area of love, in the area of health. You could have a bit of funkiness coming up with diet at the moment. You could be going off certain food groups. It's almost like just not resonating with you. You guys are going to get really hungry in the first 2 to 3 weeks. Ooh. Okay, you're watching a friend at the moment. There's somebody here. They're being a bit too friendly. You're like, what are you being friendly for? Who are you? This person actually does care about you. They may understand you a lot more now. I feel if there's a friend coming back from the past, I do feel they actually understand you a lot more than what you think. I do feel they've gone through some things that you've gone through, and it is quite, it's genuine. Okay. I feel you're breaking a pattern. There's a pattern that's been broken here. Some of you are asking how you can heal. Okay, I do feel if there's a karmic involvement in a circumstance, I feel that Aries is particularly in heart-reaching acceptance, and they're also not going to beat themselves up during the entirety of the month. It's acceptance, and it's looking at something very realistically. I also feel if this is job related, again, it's just you could suddenly change your mind and go, I'm not doing that anymore. So could you guys get through things a lot quicker than you think? Yes, I do feel so. I also feel there's a restructure when it comes to what you're doing, what you're giving and what you're taking. Recovery in finances, I do feel is going to occur this month, but I also feel you could be really careful of the food groups you're eating. Particularly if you're getting aggressive, lay off the red food groups. I think it's really important to lay off the food groups. What am I seeing here? Let's have a look at this. Okay. I think you could have this month your something's coming out of left field. It's going to put you on the right track. I don't know. I feel really exciting energy. I actually feel for some of you there could be a reconciliation with an individual or a past job. I also feel there's going to be a breakthrough with the circumstance that you've been really struggling with. I do feel for some of you, you could have a change in direction. This could be physical residence. It could be somebody moving in, somebody moving out. Could be, it's just home and family related. I do feel by month's end, there's going to be something quite major happening with family. But it does feel what your life looks like at the beginning. It's not going to look like it at the end. I will come back shortly and we'll move on to Leo. And I'll see you on the other side. Take care, beautifuls.